What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. This is my match preview for Charlotte FC versus CF Montreal. And we're going to go ahead and dive straight into it. Starting off first, of course, with the formation. I don't see any changes here from our last two games with the interim manager here. Decent results. I think anybody would take a home win against the New York Red Bulls. And a somewhat lackluster draw on the road, but a point is a point, so you're going to take it. So, of course, we have 4-1-4-1 here. Of course, in goal, Kalina. And, we could speak about the blunder of a goal from last week. But, I mean, as much as he saved us, it's kind of hard to be super critical of somebody who has played so well. And everybody makes mistakes, and that's just, part of the game, unfortunately. When you make mistakes as a keeper, it usually leads to goals, and that's just kind of the scenario for that position. So, no change there. Across the back line, I have still more Walks, Curujo, and Awful, and I think they've looked pretty solid. Relatively speaking. Anytime you have a change in the manager situation, you expect some sort of brain farce, I guess. There's different new tactics implemented. But for the most part, I have no complaints. And, of course, going into that holding mode, we're going to have Brand Bronico. Then across the midfield, 4, Shingy, Shiki, Bender, Ortiz, and Gaines. And, again, really no complaints. And I must say it's nice to see a consistent lineup week in and week out. And that's, it's debatable about that tactically, but however, when you're keeping the same squad week in and week out, you tend to get a little bit more consistency just because players are gelling and they're building chemistry with one another. And if you're just kind of plugging and playing players week in and week out, that's how you can get yourself into a mess. But again, that's a subjective thing, no biggie. And of course, up top we have Daniel Rios. Looking at some of the recent fixtures from CF Montreal, obviously we lost in the reverse fixture down to Charlotte, which surprisingly we didn't really play that well at home. And usually playing at home, there's a certain level that we play at. And I don't think we played at that level that game. But that's unfortunately the hand that you play. When you only are really showing up at home. So when you have a bad game, it does look a little bit odd. But looking at some of their recent results here, of course, last week they lost to Austin, which Austin was a player down and still ended up getting a result there. Game before that, 4-3 against FC Cincinnati, and the match before that, 1-2 to Real Salt Lake. So they're in an up and down form themselves. I mean, I think that this is a very winnable game, and if we play how we have been playing and eliminate the mistakes, I mean, I think honestly, aside from the Kalina blunder, we could be looking at potentially a 3-game winning streak right here, which, kudos to the interim manager for getting things done. And it's not easy to come in mid-season and get results and get players on your side, but when you're getting results, things tend to change. Looking at some of our recent results, of course, you have the draw last week, and then the 2-0 win against New York Red Bulls, and then the 2-1 loss to the Sounders, and then the 3-1 loss against the Red Bulls in the Cup, which that game was really up and down, but we're not here to talk about that. My match predictions for this game, with us being on the road, it's really hard for me to speak up like a 3-1 win or anything like that. I think if we play solid and we don't give up any cheap goals, I mean, I definitely could see us walking out with at least a draw. We missed some opportunities in the reverse fixture down in Charlotte, so I'm hoping that we can at least get a draw out of this. I'm going to go 1-1. Like I said, CF Montreal hasn't really been in great form these past month or so. And we traditionally have not been a good road team thus far in the club's history. But picking up a draw last week against Columbus, which really should have been a win, leads me to think that we are turning a new leaf as far as road performances goes and confidence. So that's why I'm going 1-1 here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree with the predicted lineup? What's your match prediction? I'm always curious to see what other people are thinking, especially when it comes to match previews, because they're so random. So you never really know what you're going to get. So that's all I have for this video. If you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It'll help the algorithm a lot. With that being said, that's all I have for you for this video. For the crown, be easy. Peace.